أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. اللهم لعن أول ظالم ظلم حق محمد وآله وآخر تابع له على ذلك. اللهم لعن العصابة التي جاهدت الحسين وشايعت وبايعت وتابعت على قتله. اللهم لعنهم جميعا. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه المجيد: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قال: يا قوم أرأيتم إن كنت على بينة من ربي ورزقني منه رزقا حسنا وما أريد أن أخالفكم إلى ما أنهاكم عنه إن أريد إلا الإصلاح ما استطعت وما توفيقي إلا بالله عليه توكلت وإليه أنيب. آمنا بالله. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات. Elders of the community, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam and Iman, Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We continue with our discussion on the topic Reformation, the mission and the message of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Imam undertook that mission, left Medina, stayed in Mecca, met people there, took a long journey from Mecca with the intention of going towards Kufa, but had to turn from there and arrive in Karbala. And all that time, Imam Hussain alayhi salam's message to the people was, awaken, awaken. I am opposing Yazid not because I want power, not because I want fame, not because I want to be wealthy person on this earth. No. The reason I'm opposing is that you cannot have such a leader who will destroy the true message of Islam. I want to make one point here. And if you would please listen and reflect upon this. Imam Hussain alayhi salam opposed Yazid. We know that the reason Imam Hussain alayhi salam opposed Yazid was because the character of Yazid was not befitting for him to be the ruler of Muslims. And Imam Hussain alayhi salam knew that by putting or allowing Yazid to be the ruler, it will be the message of Islam that will be affected. When the message of Islam will be affected, the lives of the people will be affected. The lives of the people will be affected. And when the lives of people will be affected, then it will continue until a time will come when another person will rise in order to change. So Imam Hussain alayhi salam was trying to explain to us and to explain to the Muslim Ummah, religion is not something which is just on your tongue. Religion is something which is your own life. Normally people before used to say Islam is a way of life. But I am going further and I am telling you, Islam is life. It is the thing by which a person stays. It is that message by which a person lives on this earth. And the way he will live on this earth, he is going to get reward or punishment, whatever he deserves in the hereafter. Recite salawat, please. We move forward today. Remember yesterday I began the subject of methodology of Reformation. And yesterday our discussion was intellectual and rational. When you want to bring about Reformation, it is important and it is necessary that you do so in an intellectual and in a rational way. If you try to convince a person with emotions, it is possible that you will be able to capture him for 1 hour, 2 hours, maybe for a day or two, maybe for a month. But because he has not thought intellectually, he has not thought rationally, it is possible for him to turn away from that message. Okay? Today we will go to the second point, and that second point is not at the cost of disunity. The third one is academic discussions. And number 4 is gradual. This is methodology of Reformation. So we will go to not at the cost of disunity. Let's go to Quran, and you know this verse of the Holy Quran. This is the verse that is recommended to be recited in a special namaz between Maghrib and Isha on the first 10 nights of the month of Dhul Hijjah. Right? And this is the verse that we recite. وَوَعَدْنَا مُوسَى ثَلَاثِينَ لَيْلَةً وَأَتْمَمْنَاهَا بِعَشْرٍ فَتَمَّ مِيقَاتُ رَبِّهِ أَرْبَعِينَ لَيْلَةً. Okay? Allah Azza wa Jal had made an appointment with the Nabi Musa. And there is going to be a time when Nabi Musa alayhi salam would be away from Bani Israel. This is after they have crossed Egypt. This is after they have been saved from the injustices of Pharaoh. Now Musa alayhi salam has come down. And Musa alayhi salam has an appointment with Allah. Bani Israel have crossed together with him. And Nabi Musa tells Bani Israel, I am going to be away from you for 30 days. And these 30 days then were 10 days were added, and thus completed 40 days. Okay? Now, Quran says after, this is continuation of the ayat, that when Nabi Musa alayhi salam was leaving, when he was going to meet with Allah Azza wa Jal, he appointed his representative. It was his representative was وَقَالَ مُوسَى لِأَخِيهِ. Musa told his brother Harun, Ukhlufni, O Harun, be my representative, be my Khalifa, fi qawmi, in my community, wa aslih, and remember, when you are there, during my absence, your duty is to reform, your duty is to set the things right. After 40 days, Nabi Musa returns. What does he find? he finds that Banu Israel are worshipping a calf. They have made a calf and they are worshipping a calf. Nabi Musa alayhi salam becomes very angry. If we refer to Surah Taha, verse number 94, Nabi Musa alayhi salam is coming to Harun and he is telling Harun, قال يا ابن أم لا تأخذ بلحيتي ولا برأسي إني خشيت أن تقول فرقت بين بني إسرائيل ولم ترقب قولي. What did Nabi Musa tell Harun? وَأَصْلِحْ. When he was leaving, what did he tell him? وَأَصْلِحْ. And set the things right. Now Nabi Musa comes and he is angry and he catches the beard of Harun. Harun, what did you do? I brought all these people up to Tawheed and now they are worshipping a calf. Not all of them. Some of them were worshipping calf. You are worshipping this calf. What did you do? This is what Nabi Harun tells Hazrat Musa. I feared lest you should say, you have caused a rift amongst the children of Israel and did not heed my word of advice. Nabi Harun wanted to bring about reformation. Nabi Harun wanted to set the things right, but not at the cost of disunity amongst the community. So he, instead of trying to force upon them, he allowed them to be there. Those who wanted to worship Allah, they continued to worship Allah. Those who wanted to worship the calf, they were worshipping the calf. But Banu Israel were one. Not at the cost of the unity. Unity should be preserved. Unity is paramount to reformation. Unity in the community is superior to reformation. Unity is important. Even in your house, even in your family, the most important thing is unity. If a community is united, it is going to progress. If family is united, it is going to prosper. If nation is united, it will take much further. It will go much further and advance in every way. So my dear brothers, my sisters, remember this thing. Not need to that I need to remind you, you understand that. But it is good for us to understand that because of a personal matter, I should not try to bring about disunity in the community or disunity in the family because personally I feel like this. My ego is saying like this. No. This is a very clear lesson from Quran and Nabi Musa and Harun. Harun alayhi salam is clearly telling Nabi Musa, I did not want to create a rift in Bani Israel. Recite salawat, please. You know the incident that after Saqifa, there was one person also, Abu Sufyan, who had come to Imam Ali alayhi salam, and he told Imam Ali alayhi salam that if you want your rights, this right of yours has been taken away, and if you tell me, I will fill the streets of Medina with soldiers who will support you and they will fight against these people who have taken your rights. Imam Ali alayhi salam refused. Now, there is another incident about a Jew who comes to Imam Ali alayhi salam. And he tells Imam Ali alayhi salam, here your prophet has passed away and here your community is divided. Told him that here is your prophet who has died and already your right has been taken away. If you tell me, I will give you support. I will give you support. And you can fight for your rights. Imam Ali alayhi salam told him, we, the Muslims, are not like the Jews, are not like Bani Israel. That when Nabi Musa alayhi salam passed away, they had differences in Tawheed, in belief in God. They had differences in belief in Nubuwwat, in the prophethood of Nabi Musa. After Nabi Musa passed away, they were divided in that way. We Muslims are divided, but our division is not about the main message. We all believe in one God. We all believe in the prophethood of Prophet Muhammad. But what has divided us is regarding who is going to be the successor of the Holy Prophet. And for that matter, I am not going to fight against these people because I would like to preserve unity in the community, in the Muslim Ummah. You know, when there is disunity, who takes advantage? Look at the state of Syria today. Who is taking the advantage? Because of the disunity amongst the people of Syria, every other country, whoever wishes to poke their nose in there, have done so. Because of disunity. If everyone was united, and this is in any case the reason why Imam Ali alayhi salam refused to fight for his right. Remember, this is imamat. Remember that it was not only once that the Holy Prophet said that Ali is going to be my successor. The Holy Prophet had reminded continuously to the people on many occasions. You know, there is one hadith that the Holy Prophet has said about, Ya Ali, your position to me is the same as that of Musa to Harun, or as that of Harun to Musa. Okay? In other words, Imam Ali alayhi salam, the Holy Prophet was telling Imam Ali alayhi salam that as Harun was successor to Nabi Musa, Ali, you are going to be my successor. Only this hadith, the Holy Prophet mentioned at 7 different occasions. Not on one occasion, not only during the occasion of Tabuk. At 7 different occasions, the Holy Prophet had mentioned this hadith. Point is that the Muslims knew about that Imam Ali alayhi salam was to be the successor of the Holy Prophet. We come now to the third point, and this is academic discussions. One of the way of bringing about reformation is to make available the platform for academic discussions. Majlises that we hold together, recite salawat please. Majlises that we hold is no doubt that this is an avenue for people to gain knowledge. But it has its limitations. We have to agree to that. Majlises have always been monologue. Right? Instead of making it one-way road, one of the suggestions I have made before, not here but some other places, is let's make our such gatherings in remembrance of the Holy Prophet and the Ahlul Bayt of the Holy Prophet, whether it is Wiladat, whether it is Shahadat, whether it is Muharram, whether it is month of Ramadan, whatever occasions, let us try and make it highway. One way there is talk, the other way there are questions. Right? You see, sometimes a dhakir says something and people understand something different and they go away with that something different. Let me tell you one anecdote, inshallah. Right? I know you're thinking about elections just now, okay? But let's, you listen to this story and you will, you know, become very happy. There was one man in Iran, he attended a majlis. And the dhakir recited about Imam Mahdi and the fadilat and the excellencies of Hazrat Mahdi, our 12th Imam. Okay? So this man heard this majlis, and after hearing this majlis, he was very much impressed. Right? Talking about excellencies of 12th Imam. So he decided that let me, you know, show to these people that I have these excellencies, I have this fadila. And after few days, he declared himself to be Mahdi. He declared himself to be Mahdi. Okay? So he goes into the town and he's telling the people, I'm Mahdi, I am Mahdi. And the Iranian government arrested him and put him into jail. Anyone who claims to be Mahdi, and he's not the only one, there are several of them, okay, who make their claim of Mahdi. Inside the jail, he started propagating to those others that he is Mahdi. And he was making sort of being a nuisance for those people. So one day, the person in charge of the jail called him and told him, what is the problem with you? So that man said, the problem is not with me, the problem is with you. So now this person says, and what is problem with us? That is the person who is looking after the jail. He says, what is problem with us? He said, this man says, I am telling you I'm Mahdi. And you people are not really ready to believe in me. And you, instead of giving me that support and giving me that avenue in order to propagate amongst the people, you have put me inside the jail. So the jailer tells him, do you know who I am? I am God. Now I'm going to ask you, who gave you permission to declare yourself to be Mahdi? See, people hear something different in majlis. When they hear, then they go out, everyone thinks according to his way. And sometimes that thinking may not be the correct thinking. Instead of trying to clarify with the person who has said this, it goes around everywhere that this is what the Zakir has said, this is what the Alim has said. Our majlis, no doubt, has got its benefit, and I am telling you, the benefits of such gatherings are enormous. There are unknown blessings that you are receiving. All of us who are participating are receiving, but for increasing our knowledge, there is importance that there must be platform available for academic discussions. Look, Sheikh Saduq alayhi rahma wrote a book, I'tiqaduna, our beliefs. Sheikh Mufid alayhi rahma, after reading that book, wrote a book not against in the sense that trying to rectify according to his understanding, Tashih al-i'tiqad, corrections about beliefs. I want to ask you all, as far as Sheikh Saduq alayhi rahma is concerned, and as far as Sheikh Mufid alayhi rahma is concerned, all of us accept them to be the great Shia scholars. Correct or not? Okay. But see, when it comes down to matters, they have done their research and they write their books. This is academic research. Okay? Look at it. Okay? in these books, when you read both books, you will come to understand that there are almost 25 major differences between what Sheikh Saduq alayhi rahmah thinks and what Sheikh Mufid alayhi rahmah thinks. 25 major differences. One difference is Sheikh Saduq says all our Imams were martyrs. Sheikh Mufid says not all Imams were martyrs, some had natural death. So when it comes to our belief, all of us believe Sheikh Saduq's view that all our Imams were martyrs. Maybe there is someone who may be believing what Sheikh Mufid alayhi rahmah says. But this has come about result of what? It has come result because of the academic research that has been made. Okay? Now, look at the another difference. Sheikh Saduq alayhi rahmah says, if Allah wishes, He can make a prophet forget. This is his view. Sheikh Mufid says prophets are ma'asum. They will not forget, not leave aside committing sins. They will not make any error. They will not make any mistake. Now when we come to this view, majority of us or all of us believe that what Sheikh Mufid has said. In one point we believe in Sheikh Saduq alayhi rahmah. In another point we believe in Sheikh Mufid alayhi rahmah. But we believe both to be the great Shia scholars. And these are the ones who have given great service to the Shia world. Had it not been their research, today it would have been difficult for us to receive that knowledge. They have preserved that knowledge. They have written it down. And they have then given it to the world, to the Shia world. But how? Academic research, academic discussions. This is important. Okay? I will tell you. Quran advises us, الَّذِينَ يَسْتَمِعُونَ الْقَوْلَ فَيَتَّبِعُونَ أَحْسَنَ, who listen to the word and follow the best sense of it. When we sit down, what happens in academic? What happens in a debate over a particular issue? One person gives his view, the other person from this side would give his view, the third person sitting on that side would give his view. People would give different views. After that, you who is sitting there and watching that debate and discussion will pick up from there what is the best and act according to it. And this is what Quran tells us. الَّذِينَ يَسْتَمِعُونَ الْقَوْلَ. Of course, some of the translators have said the word qawl over here is Quran. Okay? But in general sense, we understand that in the discussion, whatever comes out of the best, we listen to it. Recite salawat, please. Look who does the research. Michael Cook of University of Princeton. He has written a 30-page article, A Puzzling Tradition About the Qibla in the Kafi of Kulaini. This hadith appears only once in Kafi. It is related to the Qibla, right? And Michael Cook has written a 30-page article, and he writes as a heading, A Puzzling Tradition About the Qibla in the Kafi of Kulaini. This is academic research. This is where we would go forward. Today, the youths who are staying over here in this part of North America or in North America, the youths have many questions and they have many reservations. And these questions and these discussions that go on amongst you, if it is expounded and if it is if it is expanded and research is made, It will be able to help you to understand your faith better. When it comes down to the masail, when it comes down to whatever the rulings of fiqh are, we have to accept one fact. This may sound bitter to someone, but we have to accept this fact that our maraja who write down this risala are not people who have studied 1 or 2 books. These are people, if you go to count, would get, if they were to present all their theses into the universities, they would get 30 PhDs. This is how much time they devote themselves in order to acquire knowledge. They do not reach the stage of ijtihad because they have connection with this marja or connection with that marja. No, 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 no. The position of marja'iyat and ijtihad is not given free of charge, nor is it given because of relation, nor is it given because of recommendation. It is given after a student proves that he is capable of doing ijtihad. So the maraja will give you the guidance on fiqh, and we have to act according to that. But there are matters that will come out of that needs to be discussed. And it is possible for a marja to change his ruling after looking in every aspect. Marhum Ayatullah Muhsin Hakim, when he became marja, when he became the person and people were doing his taqlid, initially his order was that Ahlul Kitab, that is the Christians and the Jews, were najis. But after he made the research and after he understood all the circumstances, a time came when he changed his fatwa and he said, Ahlul Kitab are tahir. This comes after academic. And this is what we require today in the community here, that we must have academic discussions. It begins with small, and later on it has to expand. But if you really want to reform, that reformation requires you to take the first step, because it begins with individual reformation. And when you take the first step, Allah Azza wa Jal will provide you with the assistance and aid and help, and you will be able to learn much more. Recite salawat, please. The fourth methodology is reformation, which has to be gradual. Recite salawat, please. You remember, on the very first, that is on the first eve, or that is eve of first Muharram, when I began this subject, we discussed about differences between revolution and reformation. And I told you at that time that reformation is gradual, it is slow. You plant the seed, it will grow slowly, slowly. In that way, slowly, slowly, that gradually, that reformation will take place. We take example from Quran. Example of the alcoholic drinks. In Islam, these alcoholic drinks were not made haram on the very first time. No. It was a process-based reformation. Right? So, first is وَمِن ثَمَرَاتِ النَّخِيلِ وَالْأَعْنَابِ تَتَّخِذُونَ مِنْهُ سَكَرًا وَرِزْقًا حَسَنًا. Allah is saying this, Surah An-Nahl, verse number 67, and of the fruits of date palms and wines, from which you draw wine and goodly provision. So from the fruits of date palms and from the fruits of wines, you will get wine, and as well as you will also get goodly provision. You will also get something which is of benefit to you. So first Allah Azza wa Jal explains and says, you are getting both. Okay? Then after few months, the second stage, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 219, يسألونك عن الخمر والميسر قل فيهما إثم كبير ومنافع للناس وإثمهما أكبر من نفعهما. So now Allah Azza wa Jal says, they ask you concerning wine and gambling, say there is a great sin in both of them, and some profits for the people. So there is loss, there is harm, but at the same time there is benefit. And then Allah says, but their sinfulness outweighs their profit. So it comes now to the second stage. After few months, the third stage. Now comes how to stop. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقربوا الصلاة وأنتم سكارى. O you who have faith, do not approach prayer when you are intoxicated. So now came the order. Okay, you are drinking, but when you want to come for namaz, don't come in the state of intoxication. Right? Doesn't mean you are allowed, huh? No. Okay, God forbids. Okay, no one is allowed. This is at that stage now, to stop the people from that habit. Okay? You want to come for salat? Don't come. Right? What do we do? You know, I'm surely the elderly people who are very particular about this, that they say that when you go to pray namaz, then you must not have the smell of onion. It's makruh. Right? So people brush their teeth and then they go. Right? But if you come with the smell of onion, what is going to happen? The worst thing that is going to happen is that your neighbor will know that you have just had some onions. Okay, and you have come. But your namaz is sahih, everything is okay. Here, Allah Azza wa Jal says, no. If you are intoxicated, don't come. You should be free of intoxication when you come to pray your namaz. And finally, in Surah Al-Ma'idah, now comes the order. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إنما الخمر والميسر والأنصاب والأزلام رجز من عمل الشيطان فاجتنبوه لعلكم تفلحون. Now comes the order, right? So avoid them. Avoid them. In other words, now it has become haram. Not on the very first day did Islam say, do not drink alcohol. It was a gradual reformation. The same way, when we want to bring about reformation, it has to be something gradual. Don't expect, though we are living in the 21st century, in .com era, and where everything is available at the press of a button, we expect that reformation is also going to be at the press of button. No. It has to be something gradual, and it has to... Look, let's take our example very quickly. Today, if I want to stop something evil that I was doing, you think Mr. Shaitan is going to leave me? Right? He will tell you, thank you, you have done istighfar, you have done tawbah. Very well, wait until tomorrow, I am coming. Shaitan has made a promise to Allah. Surah Al-A'raf tells you very clearly, he has made a promise to Allah when Allah gave him permission that you will leave for particular time. He asked for up to day of judgment. Allah said no, up to a particular time. Then that's the time Shaitan told Allah, now that you have given me permission, I am going to attack your ibad, I am going to attack your servants, I am going to attack these people from the front, from behind, from the right, from the left. In other words, I am going to attack them right, left, and center. So Shaitan does not leave us. He is going to continue to attack us. But we want to move forward. We want to move forward. We want to bring about reformation. So we now take the second step. This is gradual, the second step. And that is, we make ourselves now strong and say, I am not going to answer this fellow. I am not going to respond to the whisperings of shaitan. Okay? The third stage you may take is that you get yourself more involved in remembrance of Allah. This is all gradual. Reformation comes gradually. Recite salawat, please. One of the requirements is that when you want to bring about reformation, okay, try to make it as easy as possible for the people. I'll just give you an incident. Once our fifth Imam saw that one of his relatives was performing the tawaf of Kaaba. Whilst performing the tawaf of Kaaba, he was being very, very particular. You know, people are very particular about their left shoulder facing the Kaaba. And he was moving like this, okay? Maybe moving like a robot, right? And there was sweat coming out. And Imam saw that. Imam called him and said, this is not the way. Allah Azza wa Jal wishes that it should be easy for you. Don't put too much strain on yourself. When you have performed that tawaf, which is your obligation, perform that tawaf. Don't put that strain like this. No, go around. Make sure that you have performed the tawaf. Make it as easy for you. Allah Azza wa Jal wishes to make it easy for you, and He will be happy with you. So when you want to bring about that reformation, don't be, sorry I'm using this word, please, but I do not intend to mean that way. Okay? Don't be like Hitler, right? Take that and, no. Make it easy. Make it easy so that people will respond to it. Okay? Recite salawat, please. Having completed the methodology of reformation, I want to come and explain that there were some people who claimed themselves to be reformers, but they are making false claims. One of them is the hypocrites. Surah Al-Baqarah. وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ قَالُوا إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُصْلِحُونَ. When the hypocrites were told, do not spread corruption or cause corruption on earth, what were they saying? They were saying, we are only reformers. These are false reformers, okay? Take example of Muawiyah. Before the battle of Siffin, Muawiyah writes letter to Imam Ali alayhi salam. And in that, he writes to Imam Ali alayhi salam, in uridu illa al-islah mastatat. He uses the words of the Holy Quran to say that I want to only bring about and put things in order. Okay? What does Imam Ali alayhi salam? Imam Ali replies, if you want to go, letter number 28 in Nahjul Balagha, it is a long letter. I have just taken 2 paragraphs from there. And you can see in red what Imam has mentioned. Imam says, I do not want to offer any excuse for having objected to his introducing innovations in religion. This is, Imam is saying to Muawiyah about Uthman. Uthman introduced many innovations. If my objections to the introduction of innovation and my advice to him to give it up was considered by him as a sin committed by me, then I do not attach any importance to his opinion. Because well-wishers are often blamed, reformers are often blamed, and their good advice is misconstrued. But they do their duty to man and religion. And then Imam says, Allah in the Holy Book repeats the saying of a prophet, which appropriately represents my mission. Imam is telling Muawiyah what was Imam's mission. He says, I only intend to reform you as much as I can. My success lies with Allah. I have faith in Him and trust in His help. So Muawiyah wanted to be a reformer, false reformer. The true reformer was Imam Ali bin Abi Talib alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Imam Hussain alayhi salam's strategy for reformation was أريد أن أأمر بالمعروف وأنهى عن المنكر. First we know Imam wanted to bring about reformation. How would he bring about reformation? Imam said, it is going to be my means of enjoining good, forbidding evil. Okay? Now, we talked about Michael Cook. Michael Cook, this is where he introduces himself, a part of that, and I have taken this from him. My most substantial publication, however, is a study of a particular Islamic value over the entire range of Islamic history. The value in question is Amr bil Ma'ruf. Roughly, the duty of each and every Muslim to tell people off for violating God's law. This is his version, not my version, okay? Right? But this is what he has written, okay? Then, one of the things that he has written, one of the books he has written is Commanding Right and Forbidding Wrong in Islamic Thought. You can see that even amongst the non-Muslims, this part of Furu'uddin, this Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi Anil Munkar carries weight. How much weight does it carry? Imam Ali alayhi salam says, this is very interesting. Imam says, وَمَا أَعْمَالُ الْبِرِّ كُلُّهَا وَالْجِهَادُ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ عِنْدَ الْأَمْرِ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَالنَّهْيِ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ إِلَّا كَنَفْثَتِي فِي بَحْرٍ لُجِّيٍّ. Let me explain to you in simple way. Simple way, Imam is saying, if you put all the ibadat, all the righteous things, whether it is namaz, fasting, hajj, whatever, all the righteous things on one side, and if you put Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi Anil Munkar on the other side, all these ibadat is like a drop in the ocean. Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi Anil Munkar is ocean. All the rest is. In other words, Imam is saying that the value of Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi Anil Munkar is very high. And this is something which every Muslim has to perform. In your house, if you have a very big television and your small son or daughter, your small child, takes a piece of stone and wants to break that, what are you going to do? I don't know about you, but I am going to rush in front of the screen and stand there. If he throws the stone, I will take the stone, okay? Let me get hurt, my screen should be safe. What did I do? Nahi Anil Munkar. I stopped my son. You are doing this at home. When you tell your child, you have to pray namaz, you have to pray Quran, what are you doing? Amr bil Ma'ruf. When you are telling your child to speak the truth, Amr bil Ma'ruf. When you are teaching your child to keep the promises, Amr bil Ma'ruf. We are doing that. But we have to also expand that in our social lives also. As a matter to reflect upon, let me just say this for you. Okay, please don't wear the cap. Huh? Don't wear the cap. I'm just giving an example. When we sit together as friends, one of the things that happens is gossip. And in that gossip is backbiting. Backbiting is like biryani. If it is cooked very well, you would like to eat not one but 2 plates. Okay? So if the person who is doing backbiting is doing it excellently, jarak wadare samjhao, jarak wadare bol, go on speaking more, go on speaking more. Instead of us telling that person, please, why do you want to talk about the others? Let's talk about ourselves. Let's look at our own faults and try to improve ourselves. Or let's talk about something which is constructive, which is going to help us. When you talk about your mu'min in his absence, talk about khair. Talk good about him. This is Amr bil Ma'ruf. See how important it is, Imam says. Imam says that enjoining good and forbidding over is like an ocean, and the rest of the virtuous deeds and jihad in the way of Allah is just like that drop in the ocean. That's how important it is. Incident, let me explain to you. Once Nabi Isa alayhi salam was passing together with his apostles, and he came across a place which was completely demolished, totally, you can say. Men dead, women dead, children dead, the trees have fallen down, the houses have been destroyed, everything. The apostles tell Nabi Isa alayhi salam, what has happened? It looks like that the punishment of Allah Azza wa Jal has befallen upon these people. Nabi Isa alayhi salam said, I do not know. One of the apostles says, Ya Nabi Allah, you have that miracle and the power to talk or to raise a person from dead. Why don't you raise one person from dead and ask him? Nabi Isa alayhi salam, amongst all the bodies lying there, he shouts out, who is ready to tell me what happened to your community? What happened to your village? After that, one person stands up and he says, Ya Nabi Allah, I will tell you. Nabi Isa says, what happened? He says, we received the punishment from Allah Azza wa Jal. Because evil had overtaken good. In this village, people were committing more sins than they were doing good. That's why Allah punished us. So Nabi Isa alayhi salam asks him, why out of all the people you stood up to answer me? So he said, Nabi Allah, I was a believer. I was a believer. So Nabi Isa alayhi salam tells him, if you were a believer and if you did good deeds, why did Allah punish you also? It is the time when this believer said, O Prophet of Allah, yes, we were good. We were a few of us who were good and doing good. But we did not do amr bil ma'ruf and nahi anil munkar. As a result of that, when they were all punished, we were also punished. This is how important amr bil ma'ruf and nahi anil munkar is. And let me tell you this, my dear elders, brothers and sisters, that if we were to do amr bil ma'ruf and nahi anil munkar within our families, remember that Allah Azza wa Jal will bless you for that amal of yours. It is very simple, isn't it? Okay. I do not know about Edmonton. I am talking about the experiences in United Kingdom and other places where people come and tell me, my son or daughter is 14 years old or 15 years or 16 years. Now we cannot tell them anything. And I do not give them any reply. But I think to myself and I say, what kind of a father would I be if I am unable to tell my children? What kind of a mother would be that lady who is unable to tell her daughter? What will we answer on the day of judgment? We are very, very lucky. Believe me, we are blessed. We are blessed because we have this beautiful institution of Aza of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. it gives us so many benefits, so many benefits. It awakens our heart, it awakens our soul, and we pray to Allah Azza wa Jal to give us tawfiq. This azah and the institution of azah was started by none other than the sister of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, Bibi Zainab alayha salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala. Azadar of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, it is a custom amongst us that on the eve of 6th of Muharram, we remember the two sons of Abdullah and Bibi Zainab. Their names were Aun and Muhammad. Aun and Muhammad, those two sons. Now I am giving you history, so I would like you to please pay attention, and if you do not understand or is not very clear to you, please come and rectify that afterwards. There is a difference of opinion amongst the historians. They say that Aun's mother was Bibi Zainab alayha salam, Muhammad's mother was someone else. This is some historians say. Some historians believe that they were brothers, Aun and Muhammad. But the most important thing to understand is that when Imam Hussain alayhi salam left Makkah, Abdullah bin Ja'far, who because of some reason, and a valid reason, was excused from accompanying Imam, had come to Imam and told Imam, Mawla, don't go to Kufa. Don't go to Kufa. I will get a letter of safety for you. At that time, Imam Hussain alayhi salam said that khairul aman amanullah. The best safety is the safety of Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah provides that safety, that is the best safety. So at that time, Abdullah has said, told Imam Hussain alayhi salam, I am unable to come, but I am giving you these two sons. When difficulties come upon you, I have instructed them that they should assist you and help you. We heard that young boy when he explained beautifully about Aun and Muhammad. One of the points he mentioned in there is that these two boys were trained by Hazrat Abul Fadl Abbas. And when Abul Fadl Abbas is the master and he is training, you can understand how these boys were brave and courageous. Do not also forget that the blood of Abu Talib was flowing in their body. The world may call Abu Talib not to be a Muslim, but the world has to agree that it is the descendants of Abu Talib who have always called and have always given sacrifices when it came to save the religion of Islam. On one side, it was Ja'far bin Abi Talib, the grandfather of these. On the other hand, the maternal grandfather was none other than Ali bin Abi Talib. The blood of Abu Talib was flowing in this. Zadar. And it is mentioned in the books, that on the eve of Ashura, Bibi Zainab alayhi salam had called both these children and had told them that tomorrow when you are asked, when it is time and people go to fight against the enemies, I do not wish you to remain behind. And Bibi Zainab alayhi salam had instructed, encouraged, given both the children enthusiasm to go and fight. And came the time on the day of Ashura when Aun and Muhammad go to Imam Hussain alayhi salam, "Oh uncle, give us permission to go and fight in the battlefield." Imam Hussain alayhi salam looks at both the children and says, "How can I give you permission to go and fight? You are young. Who will look after your mother?" Zainab alayha salam, both the children say, "It is our mother who has sent us to you and have told us that we should take permission from you." Imam Hussain alayhi salam asked them to wait. And then Imam stood up and went to Zainab alayhi salam and then told Zanabe, "Zainab alayhi salam, Aun and Muhammad have come to seek permission to go and fight in the battlefield." At that time, Janabe Zainab alayhi salam said, "Oh brother Hussain, please accept this request of mine and allow these two children to go in the battlefield. If you do not allow them, and if these two children are not sacrificed, if they do not go to fight to save the religion of Islam, oh brother Hussain, what face will I show to my mother, Bibi Fatima Zahra alayha salam, on the day of judgment?" Imam Hussain alayhi salam gives permission. Aun and Muhammad both go to the battlefield. Again, there is difference of opinion. Some say that first Aun went and then Muhammad. Some say both of them went together. But both of them fought very bravely. Aun was killed and he fell down on the ground. And after some time there was another sound, another voice that called out, "Oh uncle, come to my assistance." And then when Hazrat Imam Hussain alayhi salam with Abul Fadl Abbas go to the battlefield, and then they go and bring the bodies of the children, Azadaran Imam Hussain, jab ये दोनों लाशें आई है अज़ादारों, उस वक्त जनाबे फिज़ा ने जाके जनाबे ज़ैनब अलैहिस्सलाम को कहा, "ऐ ज़ैनब, तुम्हारे दोनों बच्चे काम आए हैं।" अज़ादारों, उस वक्त आप जानते हो कि माँ का दिल क्या होता है। अगर जब माँ के सामने बच्चे की लाश आती है तो माँ के दिल में क्या गुजरता है। लेकिन वाहरे सलाम हो ज़ैनब पर, एक मर्तबा मुसल्ला बिछाया और ज़ैनब ने नमाज शुक्र अदा की। अज़ादारों सुन सकोगे, ज़ैनब कैदी होके शाम करबला से कूफा और कूफा से शाम गई। अगर ज़ैनब रोई तो फकत अपने भाई हुसैन के लिए रोई, अरे आन और मोहम्मद को न रोई। आज़ादारों, जब ये काफिला रिहा हुआ और जब शाम में मजलिस रखी गई और जब सर आने लगे तो हर सर को इस्तिकबाल करने के लिए कोई बीबी आती थी। अज़ादारों, आन और मोहम्मद के जब सर आए हैं तो कोई आगे नहीं बढ़ा। शाम की बीबियों ने कहा, क्या इन बच्चों की माँ करबला में न थी? अज़ादारों, उस वक्त ज़ैनब ने कहा, अरे इन दोनों बेटों की माँ तो मैं हूँ, लेकिन मैं मेरे भाई हुसैन के लिए रो रही हूँ। اجرکم علی اللہ. عزادارو بس میں نے مجلس تمام کی. عزادار جب یہ لٹا ہوا قافلہ مدینہ واپس پہنچتا ہے عزادارو، جناب زینب علیہ السلام اپنے گھر کے پاس جاتی ہے. اب پر تو پردہ پوش بی بی زینب علیہ السلام کمر جھکی ہوئی ہے. عزادارو ایک مرتبہ عبداللہ بن جعفر نے دیکھا اور کہا من انتی یا امت اللہ، اے اللہ کی کنیز تم کون ہو؟ ایک مرتبہ زینب نے کہا اے عبداللہ کیا ہوا زمانے کو؟ ارے آپ نے مجھے نہیں پہچانا. میں کہوں گا بی بی عبداللہ آپ کو کیسے پہچانیں گے؟ آپ کی کمر جھکی ہوئی ہے. بس عزادارو آخری فکرہ زینب علیہ السلام گھر میں داخل ہوئی. ایک مرتبہ اون اور محمد کے کمرے کی طرف دیکھی اور اس کے بعد عبداللہ کو دیکھے کہا اے عبداللہ میں آپ کو پرسا دیتی ہوں، تمہارے دونوں فرزند کربلا کی سرزمین پر اللہ لعنت اللہ علی القوم.